comply with federal immigration law. What's wrong with that?
Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton explains.
D.C. concluded that cooperating with federal immigration agencies would make D.C. less safe,
In part by diverting police resources. The House is set to vote tomorrow. Meanwhile, Mayor Muriel Bowser's proposed budget includes a provision to repeal D.C.'s sanctuary city law. The DOJ is asking a federal judge to throw out California Governor Gavin Newsom's lawsuit challenging the legality of President Trump's deployment of the National Guard to L.A. In a court filing, the department calls the lawsuit a, quote, crass political stunt, unquote, and contends the Constitution gives the president the power to call in the Guard. Newsom accuses the president of trying to turn the military against citizens. Montgomery County's top leader is offering a warning about the anti-ICE protests underway in Los Angeles.
Quite frankly, it could happen here.
County Executive Mark Elrich.
I saw a notice yesterday that this area, this region, DC region, was on a list for the next group of areas that would see heightened activities, I guess, like we're seeing in Los Angeles.
Administrative Assistant Earl Stoddard warns ICE actions now extend beyond deportation of criminals here illegally.
If you're a contractor, if you're doing landscaping, if you're doing trash pickup and removal from a federal installation, you might expect to be stopped at this point.
Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
The leadership of the FBI is looking to move one of its elite training academies from Quantico to Huntsville, Alabama.
Deputy Director Dan Bongino wants to move a training program that offers a 10-week course for non-FBI personnel to the Redstone Arsenal, where the Bureau has had a satellite headquarters for decades. That, according to the Washington Post. New Director Kash Patel has previously said he'll move 500 FBI employees from D.C. to Huntsville as well. The Post reports that the idea has gotten pushback from some employees who don't see the justification for such a costly move. Other training programs, including those for new FBI hires, would remain in place at Quantico. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Plans for a potential trash collection overhaul in Fairfax County are on hold.
Basically, the proposal is to convert from the mix we have today to an entirely county-provided trash collection system.
Supervisor Pat Harity, a public hearing on the county possibly becoming a unified sanitation district, was delayed after last night's Board of Supervisors meeting. In the interest of fact-finding, Chair Jeff McKay announced the move to October 14th from June 24th. Harity cited concerns including small collection services being pushed out of the way and cost.
I've not seen a government solution cost less than a private sector solution in my life, and don't expect I'll see one with this either.
Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Up next, traffic and weather.
Thirsty for the most refreshing refreshment the world has ever known? Come to McDonald's. For just $1.99, you can slow sip a small strawberry banana smoothie, caramel frappe, frozen Fanta blue raspberry, and a whole lot of other drinks that are cooler than a penguin breakdancing. That's right, ice cold liquid elation for $1.99. So head to McDonald's because your drink is waiting. Sip, sip, hooray. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Sponsored by Rumble. Join millions who trust Rumble's top live streaming personalities to break down the news that matters in real time. Miss the live stream? Catch the full video replay on demand with zero censorship. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play store today and choose from thousands of creators covering everything from financial markets to daily events and more. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose rumble.com today.
Hear that? That's another person discovering today's hepatitis C medicines have cure rates of 95% or higher, and some are just one pill daily. Hep C medicines are also covered by most health insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid, so qualified patients may pay as little as $5 for a copay. Stop waiting and get your Hep C cured. What a great idea! To learn more, visit treathepcnow.com.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Vehicle fire in Falmouth on northbound 95 between the Centerport Parkway and Courthouse Road moved to the right shoulder, but traffic is still slow from Warrington Road. Southbound side is heavy, headed from Springfield towards Newington, and delays continue from Lorton towards Woodbridge, and some slowing from Dumfries in towards Quantico. In Upper Marlboro, there is an accident report on Central Avenue at Queen Anne Bridge Road. Use extra caution there. And also in Prince George's County, there is an accident reported on 301 at Rosaryville Road, and delays in Calverton on 95 southbound between 212 and the Beltway. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Hazy skies, temperatures this evening between 73 and 78 degrees, and then feeling the heat for Thursdays. Temperatures could rise at 90 or above 90 in D.C. 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 85 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
He's here. Now, broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. The police aren't our enemy. The rioters are. The National Guard's not our enemy. The rioters are. The active duty military is not our enemy. The rioters are. Conservatives aren't our enemy. Iran is. Japan attacked us and many other countries, and we ended the war to ensure it wasn't forever war. And yet, Tulsi Gabbard is concerned about nuclear war, except apparently when it comes to Iran. As she's one of the most radical of the isolationists. I'd given her the benefit of the doubt, but I can't anymore, not with that video that she put out, basically blaming the greatest generation, Harry Truman, for destroying Imperial Japan, that regime. It's really grotesque. You can look all over social media. People are disgusted with this, but if that's the mindset going in, that's like one of the other clowns who basically said that Neville Chamberlain was a man of peace and Churchill was the warmonger. These are seriously ill ideologues. Seriously ill. And no matter how many stories they plant, or the personal attacks, or the truly stupid arguments they make, the arguments that no, Iran's not building nukes, you know, they're a very pleasant society out there. I'm not going to step back from these people. They're fools. If we go to war with Iran, it's going to be the result of Chatsworth, Catarleson, the Quincy Institute with the Charles Koch heads, the other isolationists, apologists, appeasers, because they are giving the bloodthirsty terrorist assassinating regime in Tehran the impression that America is weak, that Americans don't mind if they get the bomb, that it's just conservatives. neocons, warmongers who object. Now, this view is supported by America's Islamists. What's that fat slob's name on that show? The Turkish one, the Turkeys. What is that show? Young Turks. What is that jerk's name? I don't even know. But others too. It is they who will get us into a war. Doesn't matter. I don't even know these people. Who the hell even follows them? No, I don't. I have no connections to Qatar. None. I have no connections to Qatar supporting individuals. None. I don't kiss Putin's ass. I mean, think about this, America. Something very strange is going on. Something very dangerous. Something very weird. It's not about warmongers and so forth. You either side with the United States or you side with Iran. Either side with good or you side with evil. Either it's okay for this Islamo-Nazi regime to have a nuclear weapon that keeps threatening us and threatening to blow the state of Israel off the face of the earth, as well as others. That's either okay or it's not. Moral clarity. That's what it's about. Moral clarity. As for the reports in Mediaite, in Politico, in the bestiality, and sort of the other entrails of phony media, that Iran is not developing a nuclear weapon. We shall see. We shall see who's right about that. I look at the evidence. That's what I do. I look at facts. I read the legitimate sources. I have no insider knowledge. Neither do they. It's public. It's available to anybody who is quasi-literate. The head of CENTCOM is a liar. Pete Hegseth testified today that Iran is seeking the nuclear weapon. Well, is he right or is Gabbard right? Just curious. It's obvious that the Trump administration, except for a few of these isolationist embeds, is very concerned about Iran creating a nuclear weapon. Not because I had lunch with the president. That doesn't change a thing. It's because it's happening right in front of your eyes. Right in front of your eyes. And the media outlets that are doing the bidding of the liars and the reprobates, I will hold them to account right here. I will remind America over and over again that rather than telling the truth and providing news, they chose to do otherwise. The American people need the facts, not ideologues, not propaganda. They need the facts from responsible people, not ideologues. Foreign policy is about prudence. That's what it's about. It's about prudence. You can throw whatever wrenches you want at me, shoot whatever spitballs you want, this little cabal. There's more to come, and I will push back even harder. It won't matter. I spent my life defending this country, the Constitution, supporting conservative causes, constitutional causes. I haven't had 25 different philosophical views. That's a lot. I wasn't a neocon and then call other people neocons. That's bizarre. So here we are. If you're a veteran, if you're in the military, I urge you to take a look at Tulsi Gabbard's video. It's all over the internet. I urge you to take a look at it because she speaks for this cabal. I urge you on your own to take a look at the evidence that is everywhere on whether or not Iran is building a nuclear weapon. Take a look. That's not Mark's false information. Responsible media outlets are reporting this. People in the know are talking about this. Patriotic men and women in the military, in intelligence services, are banging the pots and pans. I'm reading to you what they say. I'm not making it up. You know, this reminds me of March 2017. When I came behind this microphone and I laid out exhibit after exhibit after exhibit of how they were trying to take down Donald Trump, how the FBI was leaking, how they used FISA against him, and we came under withering attack. But I was right. The media were reporting these things. I didn't bring up wiretaps first. The New York Times did, and then they changed their headline. I didn't bring up FOIA first. One of the other news outlets did, and then I read it. And I put it all together for you behind this microphone. And then for Pete Hegseth on Sundays, Fox and Friends. And then for Sean Hannity on Mondays, Hannity. The media lied about that. The media were spreading propaganda fed to them by the FBI, the Democrats, and other media. Same thing is happening right now. The sources I use for the information, I tell you, and we also provide it on my website. And it sits there, how long, Mr. Producer? 4 years? About 4 years for you to check on your own. We don't shoot from the hip. I don't leak either. Somebody in the White House, perhaps in the VP's office, leaked to Chadsworth, to Tarleton. Absolutely dishonorable. They don't know what I said or didn't say. The people in the meeting and the president do. There was no drumbeat for war against Iran. It was a sober discussion. But I don't come here and tell you I spoke to the president and here's what I discussed. That's dishonorable. But people who weren't there, who received leaks, perhaps from friends and relatives, they seem to think everything went a certain way and they discussed it as if they were there. They weren't there. I've explained this over and over again. Why? Because they're desperate. Because they don't support America. Because they're okay if Iran gets a nuclear weapon. They're lying about the evidence. They're lying about their progress. And they're attacking anybody who dares to raise it. Whether they be Tom Cotton or Ted Cruz or other people, whether they be honorable men and women patriots, many of whom have fought for this country. They're thugs. So they attack. They leak. They plant stories. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Chatsworth to Tarleton said in another burp of incoherence, I'm old. My views are old. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm actually not old. I'm actually pretty young, in my 60s. You know what's old? The Constitution. That's old. There's all kinds of people who are old, older than I. President of the United States. He's fantastic. Outstanding. The fact of the matter is, it's not about age, is it? And yet this is how they argue. This is how they conduct themselves. These people are morons. They're thugs. They're trying to prevent you from speaking out. I want to encourage you. Those of you who love this country, those of you who are fearful of Iran getting a nuclear weapon and threatening the United States of America, those of you who are fearful of a full-out war, should that country get a nuclear weapon and threaten us with a nuclear weapon. I want to encourage you. Be strong. Speak out. Go on the internet. Provide your comments. Provide the links to the evidence. If something should happen, if some military steps are taken, we will defend our troops. We will defend our commander-in-chief. We will unite behind them to defeat the enemy. Not exploit it or use it as an opportunity to grift, to get hits, to self-aggrandize. That's not what we do. That's not what you do. Negotiating tactic or sign of action against Iran, U.S. evacuates some personnel from the Middle East. The U.S. moves to evacuate some State Department personnel and military families from the Middle East are seen by experts as a potential sign of a U.S. or Israeli strike against Iran's nuclear program, or at least a signal to Iran that the U.S. is prepared for such action. Now, is President Trump a warmonger? Is that how he thinks? Quite the contrary. He's absolutely not. But he's not a fool. He's not an ideologue. And if he believes, he himself, without any advisors, that something needs to be done, then something needs to be done. Nobody's dragging us into anything. Nobody is so influential that they can tell Donald Trump he must do this or that. We'll see how this plays out. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Big news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange, and millions like you are joining our news revolution. Newsmax is now the fourth highest rated news channel, just behind CNN. Reuters says we're one of the top news brands in America. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and more. So download our free Newsmax app on your smartphone or TV and start watching. President Trump says Newsmax is truly terrific. Get the free Newsmax app and check out Newsmax shares on the stock exchange. Go to newsmaxinvest.com. That's newsmaxinvest.com. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such an offer would be unlawful.
If you are 50 or older.
The earlier vehicle fire on northbound 95 between the Centerport Parkway and Courthouse Road moved to the right shoulder with traffic is jammed from Warrenton Road. An incident southbound between the Beltway and the Springfield-Franconia exit now cleared. But you will find delays southbound from Newington to Woodbridge and southbound approaching Quantico. The disabled move to the right shoulder, but delays begin at Dumfries Road. On the inner loop of the Beltway between the Eisenhower Avenue connector and Van Dorn Street, there is a disabled vehicle in the left center lane. Watch for delays there, and also delays on the inner loop headed from 66 to the 270 spur. More delays through Bethesda in towards College Park. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clear, lows around 67. Tomorrow, sunny, high near 93.
Sponsored by Rumble. Join millions who trust Rumble's top live streaming personalities to break down the news that matters in real time. Miss the live stream? Catch the full video replay on demand with zero censorship. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play store today and choose from thousands of creators covering everything from financial markets to daily events and more. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose rumble.com today.
Oh, it's such a clutch pickup, Dave.
I know, right? I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
Oh, no, I meant those blackout motorized shades. MVP of the room.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. Even you can do it.
Nice.
I installed these and then got some for my mom, too.
What, you fly across the country to do the install?
Nope. Blinds.com can do it all. All she had to do was pick what she wanted. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Look at you, a Hall of Fame son.
Oh, I just picked the winning team. They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Oh, Blinds.com is the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Save up to 50% with minimum purchase at Blinds.com and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Save up to 50% at Blinds.com. Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
WMAL, making sense of the roads, because traffic doesn't always follow the pattern. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Just clearing out some of the underbrush here, ladies and gentlemen, lifting up the rocks and chasing off the cockroaches. Over at Mediaite, this is Dan Abrams' site. Dan Abrams is a grifter. Dan Abrams is the Jerry Springer of media. So now they're calling our buddy Charlie Kirk a racist. If I were Charlie, I'd hire a lawyer and I'd sue their ass. This was sent to me, it's too much is, from that site, and I looked at it. And I don't believe anything he said was racist. And anybody can quote me on that. They take things out of context because context matters. But when you run an aggregator site like that, like Drudge and so forth, and you pick and choose, and then you flop up there commenters who say things and accuse people of things, this is the mode of operation. They need one big friggin' lawsuit right up their behind to take care of business. That's what they need. And calling Charlie Kirk a racist is disgusting. You know, he's an honorable young man, and he believes in our country. And he works very, very hard. I like the pukes who sit in their chairs of media. We're living in dangerous times. Crime's too high. The justice system is failing many of us. And the radicals on the left want to regulate the right to be armed by law-abiding Americans like you. That's why I trust Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A, and their compact launcher, the CL. The Byrna CL is one of the smallest non-lethal pistols in the world, about the size of your smartphone. But don't let the size fool you. It fires 61 caliber kinetic chemical rounds were available at up to 400 feet per second, with 41 joules of stopping power per square inch. You know what that means? You stop the perpetrator cold without deadly force. It's legal in 50 states, no permits, no background checks. Here's the best part. Ships directly to your home. Help be prepared to defend yourself and loved ones without the many complexities of a homicide. Made in America with over 80% of its components U.S. sourced and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Go to Byrna.com. That's Byrna.com. Must be 18. Visit Byrna.com for details.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. A Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. Breaking this hour, Frederick County is pushing pause on new data center development. County Executive Jessica Fitzwater issued an executive order today that prevents applications for new ones from being considered until after new standards for data centers become law and the county council has a chance to consider zoning regulations. National Guard troops temporarily detained civilians in the anti-ICE protest in LA, according to Major General Scott Sherman, who leads the task force overseeing the deployment of the Guard and Marines. He says the civilians were quickly turned over to police. Traffic and weather next.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what.
I was outside
exclusive offer just
for a minute.
For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their...
You like my lemon cake? Lemon pound cake. I didn't toast a coconut. No, I just...
That's water.
I should have toasted the coconut.
Gift with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Host. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethost.com/terms. Happy kids heal faster.
Just when things start getting better, they get worse.
Toy deliveries and more to hospitals across the country.
I've been praying for the people in Los Angeles. They're under attack. These people are waging war on America. Get your fucking guns out and start shooting these motherfuckers. You have that right. The Constitution gives you that right. You have the right to bear and keep arms for a reason. And it's not just to protect yourself against the tyranny of the government.
Making sense of the news. This is the story of the one who's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Granger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products.
This is some fucking strong pot he brought me. Wow, this stuff is fucking high test. This motherfucker reaches. Take one puff, it clear your sinuses right out.
Or just stop by Granger for the ones who get it done.
What would you do if your online store included 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more.
Matt Jim says they've never had an immigration problem. That's why I brought up World War II. No, the Germans just tried to take, Matt Jim, you're lucky that Hitler was a dumb fucker. He made a pact with Stalin that he wouldn't attack him. And then he went ahead and he attacked him anyways. All right? And he shouldn't have. If he hadn't sent all them people into fucking Russia and used them against England, you guys would be speaking German today. You'd have a Kaiser. And you guys don't believe that. You think you guys want to fucking change history and shit. About you, Nem. You want to talk economics, Nem? Come on up here and I'll talk economics with you. Bring your notebook.
105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. Making conservatism great again. Dial in now. 877-381-3811.
Your monologue, I think it was on Sunday, days start to meld together, was about Thomas Jefferson and John Adams. And I did an explanation of that here on the radio program as well, about how these two men became fast friends and how they turned against each other in very brutal ways. And then for 12 years, they wouldn't speak to each other. And Adams reached out at the urging of Dr. Benjamin Rush, another delegate in the past to the Constitutional Convention, and he wrote a short note to Jefferson, and Jefferson happily embraced it. And I discussed this story, and the president watches my shows. Apparently Musk does too, I hope so, as millions of people do. And so we have this piece in USA Today, and this came out just about an hour ago. Elon Musk called Donald Trump before expressing regret for harsh attacks. And my suggestion at the end of the program, Mr. Producer, was that Elon Musk pick up the phone, call Donald Trump, and really make amends, because he started it. And no, I didn't tell Donald Trump about it. Elon Musk reached out and talked privately to President Donald Trump by phone before the billionaire entrepreneur and former White House advisor expressed regret publicly for his harsh personal attacks on the president. So here's another leak out of the White House, by the way, but Reuters confirmed the June 10 evening phone call, citing a White House source with knowledge of the matter, after the New York Times first reported the exchange. Marked the first time the Tesla and SpaceX CEO and Trump was spoken since their alliance shattered during an epic feud last week. At least it didn't last 12 years, right, Mr. Producer? Hours after talking to Trump, Musk apologized for inflammatory social media posts he directed at Trump when the two men went back and forth last week in their combative war of words. Quote, I regret some of my posts about President Trump last week. They went too far. The White House would not confirm or deny Musk's call to Trump, nor should they, because this is a leak. And it goes on to regurgitate some of his posts, because, you know, the media want the fights. They want the fights. They want the grift. They want the hits. That's what they want. That's all they have. They don't have news. They don't have news. And so I happen to think this is a good thing. I happen to think it's a good thing. Elon Musk has done a great deal for the country as an entrepreneur. He did a great deal for the campaign. He's done a great deal when it comes to government bloat. He's taken a lot of hits left and right. I don't know what happened, but it doesn't matter. He's taken a step to do what John Adams did and he should do. And Donald Trump should not have apologized or called first because he didn't do anything. But I think his reaction has been good. And as I said on the program on Sunday, he's a very forgiving man. Just look around him. Look around him. People have said some horrific things about him. I don't mean just criticism or supported another candidate. I mean have said the worst of the worst. And he's appointed several of them into his administration. And one of them can't stop calling. Right, Kit Tarleson? And they've said horrendous things about him. Horrendous. Again, it's one thing in a primary to support another candidate and so forth. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. Let's get down to some other business here. The rioters and their supporters.
I see Mikey go.
Now, before I get into a fulsome explanation of what's going on here, beyond some of the surface level discussions, I want you to listen to this guy, Chuck Hagel. He was a Republican senator from Nebraska, a very strange man. He's the former Obama Secretary of Defense. He has spent years trashing Trump, years trashing Republicans. Very strange guy. And listen to his take. And, you know, here's the thing. Why would CBS Evening News go to Chuck Hagel? How do they even know where to find him? You talk about an old man, he's got to be in his 90s, I guess, late 80s. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, Kit Tarleson. Kit Tarleson, you could be in your 50s and have the mind of a, you know, of an imbecile. He's 78. I apologize. But here he is, and egged on by CBS Evening News, although they don't have to egg him on much. Hat tip newsbusters, cut 3, go.
What would be your biggest concern then about having National Guard and Marines deployed in large American cities?
Loss of life.
like we saw in 1970.
But 1970 at Kent State.
At Kent State, when the National Guard opened up on students and killed students, probably because they weren't trained. They panicked.
When they hear the president say, if there are protests, I'm going to send troops into other cities or to other places, how would officers likely be reacting when they hear that?
Stop a minute. This is so disgusting and disgraceful. It truly is disgusting and disgraceful. It sounds like this was all planned. Kent State, 1970. Kent State doesn't come immediately to mind to most people. It does to me just because I'm a nerd on this stuff. But nonetheless. And then they're asking him to project how would
Justine
respond to this. Is this news, America? Is this news? No, it's not news. Go ahead.
Our top leadership, if this continues, am I going to get to the point where I may have to refuse a direct order to send in or give troops authority to do whatever?
And I would think even contemplating defying an order for the commander-in-chief is a nightmare scenario for most officers.
Sure. Contemplating a scenario like that is a career-ending decision.
So they're talking about exactly nothing that's taking place, Mr. Zero. Nothing. Speculating. Always to the detriment of Donald Trump and the country. Just speculating. This is a nothing story. It's not news. It's a pseudo event, as we call them. A pseudo event. CBS News has substantial resources. Are they going to look into who's been funding this stuff? No. Are they going to look into who's been funding the riots, the Islamists, the Marxists, the Jew haters on our college campuses? No. Other organizations have done it, and I've brought that to you as well. Funny, isn't it? How the isolationists never talk about Qatar and the amount of money it pours into this country to destroy our country. Isn't it funny? Remember what Rush always said? Follow the money. And he couldn't stand, by the way, Chadworth, but follow the money. Follow his money. Follow the money of the illegal aliens. Follow the money of the Islamists. Follow. Well, we know where it leads, don't we? Pretty much the same place, no, Mr. Producer? To the Middle East. Here's an illegal alien in L.A. Monday. Let's hear what he had to say. Hat tip Willie Nelson TV on X. Cut one, go.
We don't agree with the term illegal. We're undocumented. We've been here for thousands of years before you guys showed up. Screw up everything. We're anti-capitalist. We think socialism does work, real socialism.
Is there a country we can look to kind of model the socialism idea?
The only model would be Soviet Union the first 4 years.
Now, those of you who've read American Marxism, you know exactly what's going on here. You see, the citizens of America, you're the interlopers. Started out with the white Europeans. You're the interlopers. You're called, you want to know what you're called? You're called Americanists. Americanists in the books, in the essays, written by the Marxist race baiters that people like this read. And if you speak out against it, like Charlie Kirk or me or others, oh, you must be a racist. No, we're not racist. You in the media, you're the racists. You're the propagandists. You're the ones who defend the Islamists and Hamas, the Marxists. That's you, not us. But you heard what the guy said. I've told you before, it's a revolution. These are revolutionaries, and the Democrat Party loves them because that's what fundamental transformation is all about. And here's an LA protester this week. Hat tip Nick Shirley on X. Cut to go.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't get this out of the land that was ours. Donald Trump! Fascism! Let our people free!
Hey. Sounds like the Free Palestine crowd, doesn't it, Mr. Producer? So these people claim to be the indigenous peoples. They're not the indigenous peoples. They're not the indigenous peoples. I can get into that one day, but it's not really my focus. So you see,
None of us were
you
alive
citizens of the
when the
United States,
conquistadors
especially you
came
white
here.
citizens of the United States, whose ancestry is European, but not just you, anybody else who's here, who's not from Mexico or this place or that place, you're the interlopers. You stole our land. Get out of our country. Sound familiar, Israel? I think it does. But that's what they're saying. So this isn't just about Donald Trump and his policies. These people believe they have an absolute right to be here, period. That this is their land, period. That you took it, period. These are revolutionaries. Now, the media will mostly show you, now, the two media sources I cite here, Willie Nelson TV on X, Nick Shirley on X, these are small independents, individuals. But the corporate media, I saw on the MSLSD with Pasaki, they're going to all the sob stories where families, their fathers taken overseas, sent back overseas, and this one and that one, and you hear the stories. They spend more time on that than they do on the criminals and what they're doing to American citizens. Let me remind everybody, immigration is about what the American citizen wants, not what the foreign alien wants or demands. Immigration is about what benefits the United States from the perspective of the American citizen. Our representatives are supposed to represent you and me. In the cities, the representatives represent foreigners, illegal aliens, and others. And they get voted in over and over again, because of the Marxist ideology, because of the Democrat identification, and people go in, they vote Democrat, and these representatives represent them, yes, but illegal aliens. And it's also their effort to change society. The New York Times gave it away a few months ago. We read from the New York Times what they said about changing the population. The Democrats are doing it. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly, and that's what they're doing. So nothing I've said is white supremacist. Nothing I've said is racist. It's the truth. It is reality. From all the little bastards over there at Mediaite and other places, the overwhelming majority of whom are white with European heritage. They must be racists. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
So going traffic on 270 northbound between the
Commercial.
Road and between 370 and Middlebrook Road. Continue in towards Clarksburg between 121.
I'm almost starting to get to be good at this.
Between 66 and the 270 spur.
A long ways to go to be perfect, though.
95 Kenilworth Avenue. Earlier disabled on the inner loop between the Eisenhower Avenue connector and Van Dorn Street. Move to the right shoulder. Outer loop still slow.
Looks like a nice sunset tonight. Get the rays of light coming in here.
And slow again from the Springfield interchange to the Willow. Now for GarageDoorCare.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clear, lows around 67. Tomorrow, sunny, high near 93.
Honey, can you lock the door?
You got it.
There's a big difference between pretty good protection.
There. I got that turned up. Now it is. I have to try to talk over it. Jeff Holler is my redheaded stepchild. Where are you, Jeff? You owe me 5 minutes, boy. And your imitation of Billy has gone down the fucking toilet. You just, when you laugh, it's just. Jeff, it's not that there's no jobs where you're at. There's jobs where you are. You have no license. You have no car. So you don't, first question they're going to ask you when you go to apply to a job, do you have reliable transport? Because they want you to show up for work. Jeff. Now, I've been doing it for years. I disagree with the ADD bullshit in the schools. That's fucked up what they're doing. You might as well teach the kids to fucking change their sex, right? Attention deficit disorder is not a disease. It's not a medical condition. Your behavior in school reflects what goes on at home to a certain extent. Yeah. So, Jeff, what you do is you expect everybody to treat you like how your mother treats you. Put some powder on your ass and give it a little tap. Go play, son. Okay. No, that's good. Good job. Right? Whether it wasn't a good job or not. Now they were talking about Mary Burney being mean. Hey, shit or get off the pot. All right. There's a lot of guys out here, but Mary, your best bet is, I don't even know if you could find a, what do you want to say it?
A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Mary, you need a sugar daddy. That's what you need.
Americans are still recovering from the record inflation of the last 4 years. Now, some in Congress want to make
Charlie did me good today, and I appreciate it. That's the best he could do. He said he did it the other day. I missed it, right? So I haven't really come down hard on Charlie. I haven't used the avatar that I got him to make for me with him and Wiggin together in it. Gotti, it's time for you. You owe me, Gotti. I drank that beer in less than 10 seconds, and you reneged on that bet. I'm going to tell everybody about it tonight. I chugged that 16-ounce beer in less than 10 seconds. And you reneged, boy. So you don't get a toll pass. You're not God. There ain't no fucking way you're God. No way you're smart enough to create the moon and the stars and the sun. Ain't no fucking way you're smart enough to do that, Gotti. If it wasn't for the internet, Gotti, you wouldn't know half the shit you do know. See, I knew a lot of this shit before fucking Wikipedia come along, and I proved it way back in Fox 46. We'll continue with this.
The Los Angeles area. They said there wasn't any water for the firefighters. They can't even get the zoning approved and so forth. It's just such a disgrace. And here
you could stare at my lemon cake.
And cut 4, go.
I do hope that people understand that this is a relatively small slice of Los Angeles, a city with 500 square miles, and this is about 2 square miles of our downtown area. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today. But understand that the real thing that's happening here are the egregious ICE raids. And we don't know when or where that's going to happen. And I do think that that will be a test as to where the city goes today in the next couple of days.
So in other words, do not remove illegal aliens, including criminals. That's the position of the mayor. It just, when you know history, and you don't have to know a lot of it, and you see the kind of reprobates that are in these positions now, it's really stunning. And many of you are thinking, well, how do people vote for something like this? But they do. Again, when you look at history over the last 100 or more years, but especially modern history over the last 100 and some years, people do vote. They vote for fascism and Marxism. And then they realize the bill of goods they were sold were that, a bill of goods, and they can't reverse course. And what these politicians do is they change the electorate to accommodate their power grabs. Did I read somewhere that 10% of California is made up of illegal aliens or something, Mr. Producer? Something of that sort. Well, there you go. It's a constituency group. A constituency group. So it's the raids. It's the enforcement of immigration laws. That's the problem. So lawlessness is the answer, according to the mayor of LA. She's not done. Cut 4, go.
It is completely unnecessary. What are they going to do? The 100 National Guard soldiers that are downtown Los Angeles are guarding one federal building. So there is no need for this. The city handled things perfectly last night.
You're such a liar. You're such a fraud and a phony. If the National Guard hadn't been there, it would have burned down. If they weren't backed by the Marines, God knows what would have happened. When those people saw the military come in there, they wet themselves. That's what they did. And it gave the police the opportunity to do what the police needed to do. The police chief said he was overwhelmed. You know, it's just like she lied about the fires. So what did she do? She fired the fire chief. This woman can't even make sure that the fire hydrants have water pressure and water. And now they're making it impossible for people to rebuild. It's just incredible. And they're up against a doer, a man who puts his foot down, a man who does stuff, Donald Trump. Now, it would be Tim Walz in Minneapolis all over again. And Trump knew that. And that's why he said no. And no's the right answer. No to them. It's times like these, many of your fellow Americans doing something the media don't talk about, others don't talk about. They're diversifying what they have, their money, to include physical gold. Gold has stood the test of time, not for decades, but for thousands of years. It's a real asset, not a promise on paper. It doesn't get wiped out when markets crash or when politicians make reckless decisions in LA and California, as an example. Adding gold to your retirement portfolio is one of the most powerful ways
Beautiful.
to strengthen your portfolio with diversification and gold. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professionals. But give them a call. Don't wait. 800-900-8000. The smart move. We'll be right back.
Making sense of your world.
I don't know where to begin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Thanks for taking the call.
Making sense of the news.
Here's a brief message from industry. This ad is brought to you by GSK. We invite you to visit hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com to explore data and resources. That's hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com. Thanks for listening to the message from industry.
Hi, I'm Richard Card, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, you're super light and ultra durable.
Dan, what are you going to do about it, Alpesh? If I am a racist, what are you going to do? What the fuck can you possibly do, punk? Like I say, you better be careful because them two guys don't like you. And they're better at this computer stuff than you are. Both them together, they're way better at this than you are, Alpesh. You're just a cocksucker. Trying to make a name for yourself off of great Americans. That's all you're doing. But fuck you, you skinny little fucking runt. The fuck are you going to do? I bet you if you were in LA and they were breaking chunks of concrete off of wherever and handed you some concrete to throw, I'd like to see you throw a baseball. You got arms like Obama. You ever see Obama throw the first pitch out in a baseball game? I should bring it up and show the fucking thing. But Google it. All right? Fucking left-handed, that motherfucker. And the fucking ball hit the ground 50 feet in front of the mound. Oh, that fucking thing went 10 yards. Huh? What are you going to do, Alpesh? You want to come up and scream at me? And I'm not really ready for a panel. Well, I want to listen to what's going on, especially this thing about that Gabby, whatever her name is. Gabby. I like that name for a girl. Gabby.
Understudies are expected to be playing parts of cast members who are boycotting the president's controversial.
I have yellow finches.
All I do is run the country well.
He says he's creating the center's golden age.
They stand out like crazy.
He says he has other great shows coming to the center. The House of Representatives is set to vote tomorrow on a bill that would repeal D.C.'s sanctuary city law. Congressman James Comer says it
ensures that the District of Columbia cooperates with federal immigration agencies, including ICE, to protect our citizens.
Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton says D.C. limits cooperation with ICE because the city feels cooperating with ICE would make it less safe.
By diverting police resources and discouraging immigrants from interacting.
As much as Logical doesn't like me, Alpesh, he probably detests you even more. Yeah, that Mystic Witch, yeah, that's one of his accounts. Yeah, he's a. I went into his chat. He banned my account. He banned it.
If there are fewer arrests.
He didn't like what I was using. Yeah, and his little friend Jamie, way back in Fox 46, that's English Langy. That's who that is. Uh-oh, Justine's cooking.
Did you just potentially mobilize every guard everywhere and every service member everywhere? I mean, create a framework for that. I understand you didn't.
Hexa says
part of it is getting ahead of the problem.
You know, it's hard to be humble when you're as great as I am.
We would have the capability
It is.
to surge National Guard there if necessary.
He's thinking about trimming my beard.
Army 250 parade is underway in D.C.
All the light is on this side. Got my computer plugged in.
If they continue to take actions after being told to stop.
Police Chief Mark Dumala explains demonstrators will.
I have about 10 mourning doves out at my feeder.
Do not block traffic. Do not block public walkway access. Do not use amplified noisemakers.
Chief Dumala says the goal is not to arrest protesters, but to protect civil liberties. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
The response system that's faced its share of challenges will get a boost with the renovation and reopening of the district's Public Safety Communications Center.
We have more redundancy in our public safety ecosystem, which is crucial to how we maintain reliability in our system.
Mayor Muriel Bowser at the ribbon cutting for the PSCC, which will also provide additional workspace and
never been in prison.
District's Office of Unified Communications. The mayor was asked if this will help public trust in district's emergency response services.
Stan Young wanted to put me in jail. I didn't want to give him any money. He just seemed to look on my face when he said $2,500 bail. I just, great big grin. I said, I'm not giving you any money. I'm drunk. So you're going to put me in jail? And he said, yeah. I said, well, I ain't. Fuck bail, I said. They all laugh and shit. Loreno is chief of police then. 11 days in jail is not prison. Yeah, you're just being held for court. That's what that's for. Then they arraign you and you give them your plea. I say, not guilty, I want a trial. And I kept saying it. And they kept trying to talk me into pleading guilty to something, and I wouldn't do it. Eventually, New York State took too much time because I wanted a fucking trial, and I have a right to a speedy trial. They made me go visit a probation officer once a week. That didn't last long. They finally cut that off. I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, I'm not pleading to a crime I didn't fucking do.
But what you really need to say is something that can protect you.
I've always cooperated with the cops.
Yep, we're here to help you choose the coverage you need.
Got arrested once. I got in somebody picked a fight with me and they hit me and I hit them back and I hurt them bad. It was very serious. I'm lucky the guy didn't die because of where I hit him. Scared me. Hit me in the face first.
There's an accident on the inner loop after Route 50. That is traffic jam from 450. Outer loop still some delays through Tyson's and again from the Springfield interchange to the Wilson Bridge. Also in Bowie, watch out for an accident northbound on Crane Highway between Bel Air Drive
and I was drunk.
And in Bowie on eastbound 50, the John Hanson Highway at 197, there's a disabled blocking the left lane. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 podcast.
My money is on Randy. If that's what's going to happen at JC's panel, Randy versus Logic go for a debate. You won't see DA get up there. DA had his own panel. He fucking failed at it. They all tried to use Wiggin for his panel. He wasn't having it. That's right. Presumption of innocence. That's the way it's supposed to be in our country. So if you want to be a lawyer and a judge and all that, don't break your oath.
Mark Levin here. Our number 877-381-3811. 877.
Anybody want to call Levin? Go ahead. I'd like to hear you.
The judges, the radical left-wing judges, really are a disgrace to this country, endangering this country. In addition to the Constitution, this is breaking news as well. Reuters, the Trump administration cannot use U.S. foreign policy interests, listen to this, to justify its detention of Columbia University student and pro-Palestinian actor. He's pro-Hamas. Mahmoud Khalil, a judge ruled today, but stopped short of ordering Khalil's immediate release. U.S. District Judge Michael Farbiarz in Newark, New Jersey. Mr. Producer, if you could look that out, let's see who appointed this guy. It's Farbiarz in Newark, New Jersey. Said his ruling would not take effect until Friday, 9:30 Eastern Daylight Time, to give the administration the chance to appeal. The judge wrote that the administration was violating Khalil's right to free speech. Joe Biden appointed him. Just imagine this reprobate. They're not violating Khalil's free speech. He's violating his immigration status. Don't you get it, knucklehead? They get it. They don't care. They could care less. It has nothing to do with free speech. When he's the leader of an effort to overthrow our country and to violently attack Jews, when he is a front for Hamas, that's what he is. But don't worry, the Biden judge has no problem with it because the Biden administration not only let this reprobate in, but let him stay. So now it's free speech. Free speech. Petitioner's career and reputation are being damaged and his speech is being chilled, the judge said. This adds up to irreparable harm. This is sick. The judge also barred the administration from deporting Khalil on the grounds that his presence was allegedly adverse to U.S. foreign policy. Khalil was arrested on March 8 after the State Department revoked his green card. Green card is a temporary status. He has since been held in immigration detention in Louisiana. So what the hell is a judge in Newark, New Jersey doing with this? We know the answers. Khalil was arrested on March 8 after the State Department revoked his green card. He was the first known foreign student. He wasn't a student. He had already matriculated. He was not a student. So Reuters lies, like all the rest of the media. It's the first known foreign student to be arrested as part of Republican President Donald Trump's bid, this is them, to deport foreign students who took part in pro-Palestinian protests that swept U.S. college campuses after Hamas's October 7 attack on Israel. Just look at the language. They attacked Israel. No, they slaughtered people. That's what they did. They didn't just attack Israel. And then they say, and Israel's subsequent military assault. This is Reuters. I think it's based in Britain or thereabouts, but it is a Jew-hating, Israel-hating wire service. That's right. That's right. I said it. But look at the lies in this one sentence. He was the first known foreign student, not a student, to be arrested as part of Republican Donald Trump's bid to deport foreign students who took part in pro-Palestinian protests. You're allowed to take part in pro-Palestinian protests. They're all over the damn media. They're all over the damn Congress. They're all over the damn country. That's not the issue. The issue is you're not allowed to support terrorist organizations, and you're not allowed to promote their agenda. That's it. Case closed, you moron judge. Now let's listen to how this goes on. This is Reuters. The Hamas attack killed 1,195 people, according to Israeli tallies. And Israel's military campaign has killed more than 54,000 Palestinians, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. Now, the head of the Gaza Health Ministry, it was revealed 48 hours ago, was a terrorist. Not a health official, a terrorist. That's number one. Number two, even Hamas has put out information saying that they overstated the casualties because they were being humiliated with their propaganda by experts who said it wasn't possible. Number three, you don't cite the Israelis who say up to 20,000 of the so-called Palestinians who were killed were terrorists. So this is Reuters. If you read this from top to bottom, and you're your typical lib, you're going to think this is fantastic. That this punk, this reprobate, was released. And remember what the media did? Oh, there's his wife. She's pregnant. Remember that, Mr. Producer? Poor Khalil. Oh, my goodness. His wife is pregnant. And she's pregnant. And oh, my gosh. And they're going to deport him? Yeah. Got to get it out of the hands of this judge. Man, did Biden screw up this country big time. He's not the only one, of course. But I'll tell you what, just what a disaster. Gavin Newsom's major address yesterday, just disgusting. His major address yesterday, let's go to cut 7, Mr. Producer, go.
Look, this isn't just about protests here in Los Angeles. When Donald Trump sought blanket authority to commandeer the National Guard, he made that order.
Okay, he didn't seek blanket authority to commandeer the National Guard. Look how they lie. The National Guard was federalized. That's the way it works. It's been federalized before. When you have a governor who stands against law and order, whether it is a governor who stands for segregation and won't let black kids go to school with white kids, or a governor who won't allow ICE to deport criminals and won't protect the free citizens of a city or a state, the president has the absolute authority to step in. And he can step in by federalizing the National Guard, as they've done multiple times in the past, or by using the Insurrection Act of 1803. And I would remind Chatsworth, Osborne, Catarleson, that's an old law. Yes, it is. It's an old law. But it's an important law. And that can be used too to deal with the insurrectionists. And that's what they are. Now, Jose Luis Salache is a California state assemblyman. And this guy lays it out. You literally have Democrats who are elected to office who are demanding lawlessness. All this talk about we can secure the border if we had a bipartisan bill. You can just see what liars these fools are. Let's go to cut 9. Go.
How would you like to see federal immigration laws enforced?
You know, it's we've known that previous administrations have conducted deportations, and there was never a need to do a militarization. There's never a need to bring, these agents in our communities. There's a dual process.
Excuse me, the agents came under attack, moron. There wasn't a militarization. Now, CNN, this reprobate, Sarah Sidner, or Seidner, whatever, who cares? She didn't interrupt and say, whoa, wait a minute. It wasn't the militarization. The ICE officials came under attack. That is a crime. That is a federal felony. Who cares? Doesn't matter. We've got a narrative to push. Go ahead.
Out to be Americans, but there's a process for this. And yes, previous administrations did them, but in this case, this current administration is going the wrong way of conducting these processes and cleaning these unacceptable rates in our communities.
What the hell did he say? What did he say that makes any sense? If people are here illegally and they're criminals, and these are people who already have detainers and removal papers, what due process is left? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The militarization, I tell you, it just gets sicker and sicker. Just remember 2020. Just remember Minneapolis and the other cities. Just remember the Democrats had their way in the city and federal and the state level in these blue states. Just remember what happened in these blue states, in these blue cities. We don't need to guess. We have actual experience about what took place. Actual experience. Listen to this one. The great Caroline Levitt dealing with a reprobate reporter. Cut 11, go.
There is criticism that seems to suggest that the president responded the way he did because it was a deliberate, calculated attempt to sort of shift focus away from his feud with Musk.
So Trump sends in the National Guard to shift focus away from Musk. There was no focus on Musk. The American people aren't even focused on that. What is she talking about? It doesn't matter. Look, this is the Biden media. Just remember that. This is the media that covered up for Biden, that lied for Biden, that told you what you see, you didn't see, what you heard, you didn't hear. They lied and lied year after year after year, press event after press event after press event, slip and fall after slip and fall. It's the same media. Go ahead.
The president responded to the LA riots, condemning the violence to Musk. That's an incredibly
She's
disingenuous.
interrupting her. She doesn't even want her to give an answer because she has an agenda like all the rest of the media. Go ahead.
Images of Border Patrol and ICE agents being hailed with rocks and Molotov cocktails. He saw vehicles being burned to the ground with illegal aliens flying foreign flags. And that's what prompted the president to have this response that has clearly worked, because last night in Los Angeles, you didn't see many of those images. And I would add the governor and the mayor need to actually do more. I know Gavin Newsom had a big address to the nation last night. I guess he thought that's what it was for maybe his future political ambitions. But he spoke a lot of words. We haven't seen action. California has been a mess for years because of the incompetence of Gavin Newsom. So the president was responding to that only.
Mm-hmm. How about that? Cut 12, go. Well, hold on. We got to take a break. Sorry, I didn't see the clock. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Why pretend to be an employee when you can just get the job?
Seriously. Shoe fly pie is an old recipe from a long time ago.
No secret handshake required. Go to
There's a certain ingredient that it's in it that makes it shoe fly pie.
Inflation is back on the rise.
I'll give you a hint.
Out of control.
That same ingredient, you want some if you make pecan pie. You like pecans or however you want to pronounce it. Pecan.
You sit on the sidelines and wait.
Give me a pecan. So shoe fly pie is a very tasty pie. Yeah. Very simple to make. You just have to have a certain ingredient that makes it shoe fly pie.
And even the world's central banks are turning to precious metals to help protect
Now,
and diversify.
flies aren't going to hurt you unless you leave your garbage. All right, you let the maggots fucking grow and shit like that. You get a couple flies flying around and you're not going to get sick for the most part. It's when you leave mayonnaise out for 3 hours at room temperature and the flies get to it. It spoils. You put the cap on it, stick it in the fridge, and then eat some later. That'll make you sick. But you're sitting there, you making a sandwich, open your mayonnaise, all right? Even if the fly lands in the mayonnaise or on your sandwich, you shoo it away. You're not going to get sick. Unless you're making a sandwich in a mess of fucking maggots. Because then you're going to have the garbage, and that's where the bacteria is. Known as foodborne illness. Let's see, Tiffany was one of them. He thinks he's a nutritionist. I am a nutritionist.
In-person and hybrid formats, along with 8 and 15-week classes, allow for the most flexible schedules. Apply today.
Try not to use Google, but you can. There's a secret ingredient.
Visit SUNYJefferson.edu to apply.
Shoe fly pie. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. I don't want no company.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
Ray one. Have you been cloning Billy? Are you one of them clones, Billy, out there? Ray one. Ray one.
Changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type 9. Join us now at JDRF.
Not much going on other than listening to the news.
Big news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange. And millions like you are joining our news revolution.
It's just pathetic what I'm reading right now. It's just so fucking childish.
Behind CNN.
Excuse me.
We're one of the top news brands in America. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax for shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and more. So download our free Newsmax app on your smartphone or TV and start watching. President Trump says
Just
Newsmax
a
is
fucking
truly
girl's
terrific.
nuts in the head.
Get the free Newsmax app. And check
You're
out
one
Newsmax
fucked up
Share
person
on
there,
Stock
Rusty.
Exchange.
Why don't you come on in my chat, Rusty? Come on up on my panel. I see you fucking running your mouth there to people with shit going on. You're the one. Watched you trash JC, you docs Logical. That's how I got all Logicals. I called his number, gave him my phone number because I knew he was going to fucking call me all the time. You suck fucks, motherfucks. How about you, DA? Huh? DA, your birth was an inside job.
Stephen Camarada is a great patriot. He's been working on the issue of immigration, writing about it for a very, very long time. And he's written a piece in the New York Post that's very, very important. Now, this piece is, looking at it, it's a year and a half old. But what's the relevance? It's completely relevant. Immigrants don't need to have the right to vote, he writes, to affect elections in the United States. Simply by being here, they can tip the scales. The apportionment of House seats and votes in the Electoral College among the states is based on total population, not citizenship or legal status. The Census Bureau is clear that naturalized citizens, as well as non-citizens, such as green card holders like Khalil, foreign students, guest workers, and illegal immigrants, are captured in the census every 10 years. Let me repeat that. The Census Bureau, which is really a radicalized entity in the Commerce Department, the Census Bureau is clear that naturalized citizens, as well as non-citizens, such as green card holders, foreign students, guest workers, and illegal immigrants are captured in the census every 10 years. Isn't that a crime? Isn't that shocking? Because the legal and illegal immigrant population is so large and unevenly distributed across the country, it causes some states to gain seats in the U.S. House of Representatives and Electoral College at the expense of others. Equally important, immigration shifts political representation away from American citizens and towards states and districts with large non-citizen populations. An investigation by the Center for Immigration Studies estimates that immigrants, legal and illegal, counted in the 2020 census, shifted 17 seats in the House of Representatives and votes in the Electoral College. Now you know why the Democrats will fight to the last reprobate to defend every illegal alien, criminal or non, and keep them in this country. It's about power. It's always about power, as my book points out. The big winner is California. Remember, this was written a year and a half ago. The big winner is California, which has 8 more seats than it would without immigrants. The states that lose tend to be low immigration states in the South and the Midwest, such as Ohio and Tennessee. The inclusion of non-citizens alone shifts 6 House seats, with half the increase going to California. Illegal immigration caused 2 seats to change hands. Now keep in mind, this is before the massive influx, although it was going on, before it was completed by Biden. So it's worse. Now, this redistribution of political power has significant partisan implications, with Democrat leading states experiencing a net gain of 14 seats in electoral votes due to immigration, while Republican states had 10 fewer seats. Battlegrounds had 4 fewer seats. Non-citizens alone accounted for 5 of the seats gained by Democrat states in the last census. Keep in mind that the border surge had not yet occurred when the 2020 census was taken. If the total legal and illegal immigration population continues to grow at the current rapid pace, immigrants in the 2030 census will redistribute 22 seats in electoral votes, while illegal immigrants will redistribute 7 seats. The settlement of so many immigrants may change the political alignment of states in unpredictable ways, though it stands to reason that as immigrants settle in larger numbers in states such as New York and California, Democrats are likely to see greater gains. The political distortions created by immigration are even more pronounced in congressional districts. Each district in a state has roughly the same number of people, but they don't have the same number of legal voters. Yet in 2022, at the time of the last election, again, this was written 2024, right before the election, New York's 6th district in Queens.
I never said Tiffany was ugly. I just said she looks boyish in the face. I never said she was ugly. I didn't say she looked like a man. I said she looks like a boy. I failed to say a good-looking boy. I guess I better start really being specific with my words so you guys don't take me out of text. All right? So I'll give her a compliment. She's a good-looking boy, even though she's a girl. From the neck up, she looks like a boy in the face. A good-looking boy. Yeah. People asking for milk, who want to eat my cake. You know, you have to make your own cake. Listen, I'm going to eat this fucker.
2% of adults are non-citizens than in the 24 districts where 1 in 5 adults is not an American citizen. This raises important questions on the principle of one person, one vote. In effect, the votes of American citizens who live around non-citizens count much more than the votes of Americans who live in high citizen areas. So let's take it theoretically. Let's say of a district there's 10,000 citizens and 750,000 illegal aliens. While that counts as a congressional district, let's say the 10,000 citizens, 9,000 are Democrats. They elect a Democrat. Amazing. Folks have been shouting from the rooftops for years. The only way we
the other night,
standing up, speaking out, fighting back.
Daughter of truth, I got up out of my chair and he farted. I hope you caught Kittles up on JC's panel. He kept farting and fucking, he's got some fucking gas. And Kittles, sometimes I wonder if your breath might smell like your fucking other end.
AMAC.us/LEVIN. Join the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the conservative alternative to that other organization. For as low as $12 a year, $1 a month, you get a subscription to their fantastic magazine, incredible discounts and benefits, free resources, and most importantly, a community of patriots like you who are fed up. The Association of Mature American Citizens is fighting fighting for you, for faith, family, freedom. That's what they stand for. And that's what America needs right now. Visit amac.us/Levin, amac.us/LEVIN.
In Montgomery County on the inner loop of the Beltway, it's slow from Rockville Pikes to George Avenue. Inner loop of the Beltway in Prince George's County, there is a crash after Route 50. Traffic is jammed from the BW Parkway. The outer loop of the Beltway in Landover is stop and go from Medical Center Drive to the Greenbelt Mark Metro Station exit. BW Parkway northbound at Greenbelt is slow between the Beltway and 198. Southbound BW Parkway is stop and go from 198 to Powder Mill Road. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clear, lows around.
It's just me.
Tomorrow, sunny, high near 93.
Usually.
Get a competitive edge in the workforce.
I eat
Earn
good.
your degree from Jefferson Community College, where a variety of online offerings, in-person and hybrid formats, along with 8 and 15-week classes, allow for the most flexible schedules. Apply today and choose the path to unlocking your potential. Choose Jefferson. Fall semester begins August 25th. Visit sunyjefferson.edu to apply. Jefferson Community College. Your future starts here.
Making sense of your money, the state of the economy, the ability to afford your life. That's what people want. WMAL's Vince Colonnades, weekdays at noon. The kind of thing I pay attention to.
Yeah, old Acid Drip's having a hard time.
Making sense of the news.
Real businesses like Malibu Coffee
I warned him.
rely on Spectrum to keep them connected.
We're a fragrance company, but we also have a lot of technology that we use. Spectrum is really the backbone of any of the business we do here. Having a reliable, fast internet service that can fit my budget is really great. I traded a 9 to 5 for a 5 to 9. It's a lot of work, but I love it.
Spectrum Business Internet starts at $40 a month when bundled. Learn more at spectrum.com/business. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas. This is my new best friend, Esther. She might
Hell
be
with
a
a glass.
normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of love and care and attention. Plenty of
Yeah, I have
exercise
another
and
gallon in the
habits
fridge.
so that she can live a long and healthy life with her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference.
Pound
in the life of a
cake,
person with a
aka
disability.
sponge cake.
Reveal brighter, glowing skin with Aveeno Positively Radiant Brightening
I don't want to
and
get it
Daily
all over.
Moisturizer with SPF 30. This duo exfoliates and protects your skin from UV rays with soy formulas gentle for everyday use. Improve your skin tone and texture with Aveeno Positively Radiant.
Time for dinner, kids.
The reason I gathered you here today is for a family strategy meeting. Johnny, after dinner, you get 31 minutes of counting practice from iExcel. Only 30 minutes. Meanwhile, Timmy, you get to use iExcel.
Mary, look at how nice a job I did on that cake.
Any broccoli on that plate. Mom, dinner looks excellent. Let's do this. We've got to study. Tests are coming up, people. The leading product family stress. Start learning today at iExcel.com.
I should drizzle some Hershey syrup on it.
30 would you bid 40? That's the sound you're going to hear at the next Brastek auction. Hi, I'm Bernie Brastek of Brastek's Real Estate Auction Company of Baldwinsville, New York, and I have 40 years of proven experience in selling antiques, businesses, estates, households, residential and commercial and waterfront real estate. Call me at 678-2000 for a free, no obligation consultation and find out how you can receive top cash price for your real estate and personal property in one day at the Brastek auction.
Yeah, what comes around goes around. That's true.
Get a competitive edge in the workforce. Earn your degree from Jefferson Community College, where a variety of online offerings, in-person and hybrid formats, along with 8 and 15-week classes, allow for the most flexible schedules. Apply today and choose the path to unlocking.
I drink a lot of milk.
Choose Jefferson. Fall semester begins
Always
August
have.
25th. Visit sunyjefferson.edu to apply. Jefferson Community College. Your future starts here.
Making sense of your world.
Greatly appreciated.
News Talk.
I don't need any more of that right now. That's enough.
I love listening to you.
Making sense of the news.
I have a joint somewhere.
Making sense of mainstream media because the double standard is real. Download the WMAL
If I
app
dropped
to
it on the
stream us for
floor.
free.
The Mark Wolfgang Show is tomorrow's morning show.
Gotti, you redigged on that bet. You fucker, I drank that beer in less than 10
How you
seconds.
feeling? This Independence Day, July 4th, as we honor American grit and independence. Tax Network USA, the best of the
And
group.
JC proved it
is
today.
helping
She
to
talked
take
about,
back
you
control
know,
of your financial
showed her
future.
family and they all
And right
doxed
now,
her
they're
and shit.
offering 10% off all services through Independence Day. So if you missed the
I wasn't
April
involved
15th
with that.
deadline, or you're buried in back taxes, God knows how long, don't wait. Don't wait. IRS penalties keep adding up. That's on top of what you already owe. Yep. You need Tax Network USA right now, folks. I'm throwing you a lifeline. With
Well, that
this
was
show.
good
So
while it
really good. They
lasted.
have an edge. A preferred direct line to the IRS. They know which agents to deal with. They know which agents to avoid. They're attorneys, strategists, and expert negotiators. They know how to cut through the IRS chaos. How do I know? Their aggressive, proven strategies help settle your debt fast and in your favor. They've already helped Americans resolve over $1 billion in
Mary
tax
doesn't
debt,
like
and
me.
they can help you too. That's how I know. Your consultation is absolutely free. There's no
There,
time to
sun's
get ahead of
peaking.
this and get your financial independence.
Oh, here we
back.
go.
And the stress, I know, is unbearable.
There he
But
is.
this is how you fix it.
There's an Alpesh Patel boy right there.
1-800-958-1000. 1-800-958-1000. Or visit tnusa.com/Levin. Tax Network, that is. TNUSA.
So you sucking on that little British bulldog, aren't you, Patrick? You and your friend Andy.
Why doesn't Trump said that he'll protect the First Amendment rights of peaceful protesters? See, everything that's asked is from the perspective.
Patrick, why you block my clone of you?
From the left.
Why you block my clone? I should fucking just time you out and keep you out of here. You're gonna miss a good show.
He just said protesters would be strongly dealt with. In your list before, you referred to insurrectionists, rioters, and protesters.
I don't buy Kleenex. I just use this. So if I need to pick my nose, whatever, blow my nose.
We're praying silently in front of abortion.
Now, if it's good enough for my touch hole, it's good enough for my nose.
I'm struck by the fact that when people raise questions about vaccines or raise questions about the source of the COVID-19.
Oh, of course he's going to say,
nobody
because I'm
talked
going to kick
about
his
their
ass
First Amendment
again
rights other than
tonight.
the people who are being condemned.
He likes
So
me
all of
making
a
him
sudden,
look
the
like a
media's concerned
fool.
about the First Amendment when it comes to Islamists, Marxists, illegal aliens, violent, riotous individuals. It's an amazing thing. All we hear about is the First Amendment, due process. Again, when it comes to pro-lifers, no. When it comes to Catholics, no. I'll go so far when it comes to Jews on college campuses, no. When it comes to
Yankee Doodle Dandy.
they're raised about government policy, whether it's vaccines or anything else. No.
LA's a shithole.
But now,
I'm worried about Wiggin.
Protesters. What about the First
Most
Amendment?
fuckers ever found his daughter crippled like that? They just kill her. Make fun of it, sit there and laugh as she burns. Fucking idiots. Same thing Hitler did with fucking people he seen that were useless. That's what they do. Idiots. Take innocent lives. Kick them in the fucking nuts.
At the same time, and the president, as I just answered, supports the right of Americans to peacefully protest. He supports the First Amendment, but that is not the majority of the behavior that we have seen taking place in Los Angeles. We have seen mobs of violent rioters and agitators assaulting law enforcement officers, assaulting our federal immigration authorities, and we have seen, as I said, this goes back to what this administration is trying to do and accomplish, and that's enforcing law and order in our nation's communities, and it's removing public safety threats from communities in Los Angeles.
You say the majority has not been peaceful. The majority has been.
I just read for you the arrest numbers.
You really are nuts. She didn't say that. But what's the difference? The majority
My
are
screen's
minority.
fucking doing
We're
that
not taking
shit.
a poll. It's the people who are violent that need to be.
Oh,
addressed.
that's just a glitch in the system.
Now tell me, were the majority of the people in January?
It's how the
violent?
pixels
No, the
load.
overwhelming majority weren't. Well, how come they
Not
don't
an
get
engineer.
questions like this, the Democrats? Instead, the media are attacking January 6th. There were what, 500,000 people or 1 million people, whatever it was.
Too many
And we
bots.
had
There ain't
what took
nobody
place
here.
at the Capitol building, and even there was a very small percentage.
Only
of the
takes
people
one
who were
with
in the Capitol
malware.
building who were violent. Now, they were violent. They're violent. They're dealt with, but that's not the point.
Let's not forget that when I first streamed in and that, and then when I caught Rusty doing what she was doing, and I fucking threw her out of here, right? And they did everything to report me, to get me taken down. Don't press your luck, yee skirt. I wouldn't press your luck. You're right up fucking JT's ass and all that. So that's Logical and Petros and Rusty and that whole fucking crew over there. So, you know, I know who my enemies are. So just, you know, we'll see.
Supposedly journalists, look how they ask questions.
I'm a journalist, so fuck you. You don't like it? Too bad.
For the January 6ers. They never said that the vast majority were peaceful. They don't talk the same way when it comes to American citizens, do they? Go ahead.
100 illegal aliens alone, just illegal aliens who have been arrested in these riots since June 6th, since they began.
Why are you interrupting, moron? Yes, there's thousands of people in the street. As a matter of fact, there's millions of people in L.A. The hell does that have to do with anything, you
A lot of people in LA.
I watched the clip earlier today when I was doing my Blaze show. And ABC, which is so pathetic, so lousy, their host, he was at one of these debates. He's a nasty, squirrely little bastard. And did you know that there were more troops in Los Angeles than we have in Iraq and Syria? Did you hear that, Mr. Producer? And the what? Did you know there's more troops in LA than there are in, say, the Bahamas? I could have answered. So what? What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. But they're trying to create an image that Donald Trump was this fascist, this dictator, this Hitler. They're still at it. And wait until Saturday when they're celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Army. You already have Rand Paul. Boy, is he a reprobate. He is a Trump hater extraordinaire, this guy. You want to know why? He's one of these extremist libertarians, like the Charles Chatsworth Osborne Jr., Catarlson. That's what he is. He's one of them.
Over hill, over dale,
So no matter
down
what Trump
the
does, he's
dusty
to be
trail.
pressured, attacked,
Let those
undermined.
caissons keep moving.
Damn it, he better deliver for us. We want him the election.
Da 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 da
No,
da
you didn't.
da
You're
da
really a
da
slob
da
of
da
all losers.
da
But anyway, go ahead.
da.
Hundreds of people who have assaulted law enforcement officers. Are you saying that that's that's appropriate behavior? Are you saying that the Democrat governor and the Democrat mayor of Los Angeles have failed?
Cloudy, then the sun comes up. Then windy all day.
He has the power to federalize the National Guard. Everybody knows it. He brings a phony lawsuit because he's trying to draw attention to himself. That is all this moron Newsom is good for. Drawing attention to himself. He's a drama queen. That's what he is, a drama queen. You talk about pencil neck.
He should be on RuPaul.
Apparently in California these days. You got Schiff. You got Newsom. What are they, giraffes? All right. You want to hear something good from our friend John Voight? I haven't talked to John Voight in years, but I'm a tremendous fan of his. I adore the guy. I always have.
John Voight.
Courageous man. One of the first in Hollywood to ever step up as a conservative, quite frankly.
He was in The Deer Hunter.
Enough of this crap. I'm not getting involved. That's that. But he does. He's a great coach. He loves this country. Oh, and by the way, loves the state of Israel. May I say that? May I say that? Or should I go back to Israel, quote unquote? But perfect.
John Voight must be pushing it, though. That guy is older than me.
You're a fool blaming Trump.
Here he is right here.
What are you doing for this destruction? These animals destroying Los Angeles. Are you there talking calmly with them, you fool? They would burn you down like they're burning the cars and the American flag with no regard for humanity. This is not about Trump.
Isn't this something?
This is about protecting the people from these animals and criminals trying to destroy us. And our police force, are they supposed to stand there, let rocks hit them and kill them? Who's going to save them? You? President Trump called in the National Guard and the Marines to help with these destructive, barbaric riots. All you do is cause chaos for the people. You're a disgrace. You're nothing but a lying dog for the hopes of becoming the president one day. And God is my witness, truth will prevail because of your faults and your incompetence for California's failures. We the people, I stand with Donald Trump to make this state great again. But we the people choose Donald Trump to save America, and we're in danger with threats from terrorists now, and we must protect our country. This has now become good against evil, and evil will lose because our President of the United States of America was sworn in to protect this nation's greatest gifts: freedom, safety, prosperity. And he will, because he is the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln. And we the people stand with this nation's honor and respect and with the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
You know, he reminds me a lot these days of John Wayne, my favorite actor. And by the way, people ask me all the time, Mark, when you're on television, you have two things on your lapel. You have the American flag, and then you have something else. Now, when I'm in the Florida studio, ladies and gentlemen, I have on the other lapel an elephant brooch that I had custom made with what we call Brazilian unheated Paraíbas. That's a very desirable gem that I had been collecting. But when I'm in the Virginia studio, and I'm wearing my other, blue jacket, I basically have two. We send them out here directly, and that's what I wear. I have an American flag, and I have a John Wayne employee pin. And that figure you see in that oval pin on my right lapel, when you're looking at me, I believe it's on the left, maybe it's on the other, I don't even remember. But anyway, it's John Wayne. So that's on the other lapel. Thought I'd mention that because people keep asking. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Trip planning by Expedia. You were made to have strong opinions about sailing. We were made to help you and your friends find a place on the beach with a pool and the marina and the waterfall and the soaking tub.
There ain't no flies, though.
Made to travel.
Ain't.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you.
But I do need to go put my cake up. Throw away the milk jug.
Just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion at checkout.
Now that's style right there.
So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at Shopify.com.
Yep.
Hey, I'm Rick McIntyre. In life, you'll hear a lot.
You'll see them, flies.
I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer.
That's Dougie. He was here. You didn't see him swatting at no flies. Ain't no flies.
It was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is
Reba
by the U.S. Air Force.
Boy, that is news. What's going on? Shit in California. I hate to run up in you. I want to listen to this. I think it's important. It is important. It's important to me.
Hurry in. Father's Day is this Sunday, and this sale is happening now at Macy's. Savings on already reduced prices.
I can see it right now. Okay. I show up at Randy's trailer, and there's High Test, and he's got this sword, and he wants to slice off Randy's head. Now, Randy has guns. High Test forgot to bring a gun with him.
There's a whole lot missing here.
Kiddos, you're passing gas. I don't really. I want to hear this though.
When something happens to your car,
You say please, and I will. Hey Billy, may I have the link? Little decorum around here.
what you really need to say is
You say,
something that can
Billy,
actually
please,
help.
may I have the link? I'll post that motherfucker.
And just like that, State Farm is there to help you find
Maybe
your
you'll
claim
copy it
and
and then
receive
you'll have it.
valuable. So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm.
Yeah, I gotta check, make sure I got the thing.
Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-led company, believes every man and woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. That's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance.
There you go, fart man.
American flag ever
Great
to
big
1,000
giant fucking
US
bag of
veterans in time
gas.
for the patriotic holidays.
Holy
Switch your cell phone
fuck.
service to Pure Talk today. Know that you're supporting a company that will be providing these high-quality flags made in America to deserving veterans with plans from just $25 a month for unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data. You can enjoy America's most dependable.
So what's up with Gavin Newsom filing a fucking lawsuit to stop the military from stepping
Hey, you
in?
remember that night I got you to show your belly?
Yeah.
You almost pulled your fucking shorts down. Don't be doing that.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, hey, you try to get me in trouble, aren't you? Fucking telling she's been mad at me about that ever since. I've never said she's ugly. I don't really call her a bitch. I call her Tiffany. Right?
Tiffany?
Tiffany, yeah. T-I-apostrophe-F-A-N-N-Y.
She looks like a boy.
Right? But she looks like a cute boy. She's got a cute boyish face, but she looks like a boy, right?
Right.
You know, why? If you were Tiffany, would you get mad at me?
I don't know. Do I look cute?
I don't know, but that bottom lip looks like that fucker sticking out there a lot more than it used to.
Yeah. I got a fat bottom lip.
Hey, did you lose some more teeth or something or what?
No, I lost one tooth about 8 months ago.
Well, anyways,
I'm not staying very long. I just stopped in to say hello.
And then it's
Yeah.
summertime.
I know you're doing important things right now, like fucking with people.
I'm not really. No, they come at me. I'm just responding.
Yeah.
Charlie got himself in trouble today.
What did he do?
Oh, he's after Logical to quit using the avatar Randy made of me kissing my mother.
Oh.
All right. See, what happened was there was this young woman whose sister to my nephew was with her sister, and he has kids by her. She's not really my niece. Right? They want to say that she sat on my lap. Well, I gave on camera. I gave her $100 bill.
Yeah.
Right? And she took a couple pictures with me, and one of them I'm kissing her on the cheek.
Oh. Hey, Patrick. Good to see you, Patrick.
Well, anyway, ever since I posted in Vegas, I asked Logical to explain the horizon because he's, posting about flat Earth. And I watching everybody fucking, going on him about it. And they're laughing and giggling, right? So finally I spoke up and I fucking posted about the word horizon. And he's been mad at me ever since.
Damn.
I started calling him log liquor, and other people, they've been calling him log liquor instead of logic.
Hey, post Acid Trip's information so I can subscribe to him.
Huh? Why would I do that? Fuck you. Find him yourself. Go into your live feed and look for live feeds. He's public. He's right there. Fuck you.
Yeah,
right?
post
if
his
you
info.
don't know his address by now, I fuck you, kiddos.
Come on, post his info.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Fuck him. No, a couple of people got wrenches over there. 3 of them, actually. Matt Galligan, Andy, and Patrick Rowe all have wrenches over there at that fucking idiot's chat.
Yeah, post his info so I can subscribe to him.
Ask somebody else. Go talk to Shannon. She knows how to find him.
No.
I ain't giving it to you. Don't ask again.
Well,
I'll kick you right in the nuts. Yeah. Fart sack. Linda, hit him in the back of the head with a fucking pan instead of in the face, will you?
Hey, I gotta go, Billy. I just stopped in to
All
say
right.
hello. It's
Good.
dinner time. Bye.
All right, bye. I was gonna ask if you're feeling good.
Well, this administration, like no others, is going against anti-Semitism, Jew hatred. And Barney is a fan.
That makes me want to eat another piece of cake.
You know, I'm a little sick and tired of her coming under attack by the reprobates. I'm tired of Cash Patel coming under attack by the reprobates. I'm tired of Dan Bongino coming under attack by the reprobates. Again, it's this little cabal of nobody. You want these people to deliver things for you that they don't have the goods on. You may want to
excuse me. Camera hesitating.
But because it doesn't exist. It's a great patriot. Here's Bondi on Fox and Friends today. The Department of Justice case against an Oakland coffee shop refusing to serve Jews. You know, this is like prior to the 1970s. It's the 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, the way blacks were treated. Except it's okay now to do this to Jews, except for the fact that you have a new sheriff in town. His name is Donald Trump. Cut 14, go.
I want to bring you to this DOJ case that you guys just opened against an Oakland coffee shop that were refusing service for Jewish customers. What's the latest on that?
You know, Lawrence, we shouldn't live in the world in which we live, where you would name a coffee shop Jerusalem Coffee Shop. Yet you would, when a Jewish person comes in there, they're mocked, they're told to leave, they're said horrible names to because they're wearing a Jewish hat or a Jewish star. We're not going to put up with that. Under Title II, they cannot do that in our country. Listen to what else they did. After the October 7th anniversary, that horrific day, the anniversary of October 7th, after that, they added new drinks to the menu. One was Sweet Senoir, in honor, a tribute to...
Unfortunately, we're up against the clock. I'm going to start this at the beginning in the next hour, the top of the next hour. This is going on all over the country, America, all over the country. You have these Islamists who've come into the country. You have these imams who hate the country. It's incredible. And they're all over the country. I'll be right back.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with you 100%.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
There's a lot of us out there.
Making sense of the news.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here. It's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms. Making sense of the media.
The news media is attacking him because this is what happens when you're a Republican.
Chris Plant, weekdays 9 to noon.
Yeah, our news media, really.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
When you shop JCPenney for a Father's Day gift using your extra 20% off coupon, you're not just getting a Father's Day gift for an extra 20% off. You're showing Dad he's still got it and passed it on to you for an extra 20% off. We've got the receipts. Yes, JCPenney. Coupon valid on select styles through 6/15. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
SweetDeals.com lets you spend less and have more. Save at least 50% on extraordinary restaurant, product, and entertainment deals. Plus, amazing vacation packages. Live large and save money while doing it. Go to SweetDeals.com today and start saving.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
I'm Lisa Sarah, Fox News. President Trump expected to eliminate some of the country's strictest clean air rules.
It's just what you want. You want like 3 or 4 different accounts with wrenches on them so you can change the account. You ain't gonna get away with it. Here. I'm under you fuckers. Don't piss the cook off. I'm telling you, they know a lot more than you think they do. Just because I can't see the color purple, it doesn't mean I'm dumb. Well, Doug doesn't share, huh? Well, everybody in this chat has a wrench. I don't want to be like Doug. I don't want a bunch of wrenches in here. That ruins it. And Trump's hitting them hard. They're after the guy. They better not shoot at him again. Fucking ignorant motherfuckers.
Saying he would be willing to extend the July 8th deadline for
Gotti, you owe me, you fucker.
U.S. tariffs take effect, but he said he doesn't believe that will be necessary. Some decisions have been made by the jury regarding.
You lost that bet. You fucking squelch, you fucker. You ain't gonna do to me what you did to Will Durant. It ain't gonna work. Will Durant hasn't been around long enough. I got way more time on the pond than most of you, actually. Yeah. That's right. I've dealt with a lot of people in my lifetime.
WMAL News at 8:02. I am Tom Lewis. House of Representatives is set to vote tomorrow on a bill that would repeal D.C.'s sanctuary city law.
Time is it? Yeah, last hour, Levin.
Columbia cooperates with federal immigration agencies, including ICE, to protect their citizens.
Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton says D.C. limits cooperation with ICE because it feels cooperating would make D.C. less
A
safe.
squirrel out there, baby one.
Police resources and discouraging immigrants from interacting with the police department.
Meanwhile, Mayor Muriel Bowser's proposed budget would repeal D.C.'s sanctuary city law. Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Frederick County is pushing pause on a new data center development. County Executive Jessica Fitzwater issued an executive order today that temporarily prevents the consideration of applications for new data centers and electrical substations that support them. She says the purpose is to prevent more development before new standards become law while the county council considers zoning regulation. Loudoun County School Board heard hours of public comment both for and against policy 8040 that lets students use the bathrooms and locker rooms of their choice.
I'm here today again, just like I was after the rapes of a few years ago, to urge the immediate repeal of policy 8040.
Another speaker defending the controversial policy.
We need to drown out the politically motivated circus and stand up for trans students.
The meeting lasting over 5 hours, with one attendee being removed at the order of School Board Chair Melinda Mansfield, while one young student added,
"Our differences make us great. Please mind your own body and be kind. Thank you."
Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
WMAL news time is 8:04. Now let's check WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Traffic Cleaning Traffic Center.
In D.C., on D.C. 295, the Anacostia Freeway, northbound side is slow from the 11th Street Bridge to East Capitol Street. Southbound side of 295 is slow between Benning Road past East Capitol Street. On the 395 northbound, jammed up between 14th Street and the 3rd Street Tunnel. Coming out of D.C. and the BW Parkway in Greenbelt, you're going to find a crash northbound at the Good Luck Road overpass. And in Bethesda, on the inner loop of the Beltway, traffic is slow from Rockville Pike to George Avenue. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clear, lows around 67. Tomorrow, sunny, high near 93.
Tired of that awkward break dealing with pills or painful injections when it's getting hot and heavy? Instead, always be ready. The Regenegrow program at Dallas Men's Health is for men across the country who are looking for that next level of sexual satisfaction. Our clinically proven innovative Regenegrow procedures are the safest and most effective ED treatments available.
Since my partner started working with Dr. Risham, our sex life is so much hotter. Every guy should visit Dallas Men's Health. It's a game changer.
Start to revitalize and upgrade your sex life. Visit DallasMen'sHealth.com.
Pay rent with Built to earn flexible transferable points and unlock exclusive benefits. There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. No matter where you live or who your landlord is, your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, free mats or towels at your favorite fitness studios, and unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/WWO. That's JOINBILT.com/WWO. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/WWO to sign up for Built today.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide.
That's all I can think of. He burned his feet bad enough to have staples put in that motherfucker. How can you not catch your fucking crotch if something happened? His face is all fucking scarred from it.
773813811.
Burnt pecker pie.
It tells the truth to the audience, treats the audience with respect. And then we use the facts and our knowledge and our experience, and we let the chips fall where they may. So here's Pam Bondi on Fox and Friends this morning. Lawrence Jones, I love this guy. I don't know him well, but he is absolutely fantastic. Lawrence Jones. Cut 14, go.
I want to bring you to this DOJ case that you guys just opened against an Oakland coffee shop that were refusing service for Jewish customers. What's the latest on that?
You know, Lawrence, we shouldn't live in the world in which we live, where you would name a coffee shop Jerusalem Coffee Shop, yet you would, when a Jewish person comes in there, they're mocked, they're told to leave, they're said horrible names to because they're wearing a Jewish hat or a Jewish star. We're not going to put up with that. Under Title II, they cannot do that in our country. Listen to what else they did. After the October 7th anniversary, that horrific day, the anniversary of October 7th, after that, they added new drinks to the menu. One was Sweet Sinwar, in honor, a tribute to the leader of Hamas who tortured Jews, who orchestrated the October 7th attacks. That's the world in which we're living, that they do a drink honoring him and can't do that. And so we've sued them, and we're going to stop this from happening. And anywhere in the country, if you do this, we're coming after you. Cannot do this.
So these isolationist podcasters, is this okay with them? I'm just curious. Did they cover this story? Are they ever going to cover this story? Or is it too Jewish? I'm just wondering, Mr. Bennett. This is our country, isn't it? These are Islamists doing these things, right? They're in the streets, they're at colleges and universities. They attack America, they burn the American flag. Is this okay? Well, it looks like genocide to me. You know, there's this one podcaster, this comedian, I don't even know his name. Well, it looks like genocide to me. It does? Let me tell you what genocide looks like. Jerusalem Post, 5 killed, multiple injuries in Hamas attack on GHF personnel. What's GHF? The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. At least 5 people have been killed. This is breaking news following a Hamas attack on a Gaza Humanitarian Foundation bus transporting over 24 GHF team members, along with local Palestinians working side by side with the United States GHF team, the foundation announced tonight. Several injuries have been reported, and the GHF also stated that team members may have been taken hostage. This is the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. The team was on their way to the Khan Yunis distribution centers at the time of the attack. I wonder if it seems like genocide to me in the isolationist podcasters. I wonder if they'll even carry this story. No, they won't. This attack did not happen in a vacuum, the GHF said in a statement, adding that Hamas has sent multiple threats to the team and workers, as well as the civilians receiving aid from the foundation. Why are they doing this? So CNN and Politico and Axios and MSNBC and the Slimes and the Compost and all the rest of our media, our Pravda, Al Jazeera media, report, look what the Israelis and the Jews, the oppressors, are doing to these poor people. When it is over and over again, Hamas that has the weapons in the hospitals, Hamas that has the terrorists in their mosques. When it's Hamas that uses children and women as fodder. It's said over and over again. It's proven over and over again. It doesn't matter. Earlier this week, threatening texts that were sent by Hamas to aid workers. These are Palestinian workers operating in Gaza, saying that those who continue to partner with Israel's aid distribution will face severe consequences. Quote, we are fully aware of everything you are doing, and all your movements are being monitored with extreme precision, said Hamas to these aid workers. You will not be forgiven for your involvement in projects that harm the dignity of our people and serve suspicious agendas under the guise of humanitarian work. This is your final warning. Continuing down this path will have severe consequences, and you will bear full responsibility for the outcomes of your actions. Stop now or else. These are the texts. The texts. So what did they do? They killed 5 of them just now. They killed 5 of them on the bus and injured over 24 others of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation that is bringing them food from the Israelis. That seems like genocide to me. Yes, that's very comical, I would say. Sick. More Pam Bondi and Lawrence Jones. Cut 15, go.
This is what their attorney is saying in response to this lawsuit. This is our view is very much a political attack, and anti-Semitism, which is a very real problem in this country and in the world, is being distorted and weaponized. I mean, that reads like something straight out of Hamas's media organization that is trying to spin this. What's your response?
Yeah, they are promoting the anti-Semitism, and not only promoting it, encouraging it throughout our country. We will not stand for it. We will protect our Jewish citizens. We will fight for them. I was on the scene, Lawrence, of that horrific murder involving, of course, the young couple leaving the Jewish Museum. Then after that, of course, look what happened in Boulder, Colorado. It's escalating. These words encourage escalation, putting things on your menu that are so horrific,
Let me stop right there. And you damnable podcasters. I'm a podcaster too, but these damnable podcasters who live in the world of anti-Semitism, they pretend they're asking questions. They pretend they don't know what's going on. When I just read you an article that's available for the whole world to read. These disgusting people who pretend that Iran is not seeking a nuclear weapon follow the money. So many of them are on the payroll of one of these entities or another. These are disgusting podcasters. They are disgusting. And they're not just podcasters. They call themselves influencers. They lie to you. They deceive you. They are false prophets. They pretend that they care about you. They pretend they care about this country. They pretend they don't want war, when in fact, their conduct in support of the warmongers in the Middle East and others is likely to cause war. This administration is fighting anti-Semitism. It's fighting people who are violent, illegal aliens. This administration is doing what's right. The President of the United States will do what's right. Because unlike these fools, these frauds, these phonies, and these reprobates, these low IQ lowlives, I have faith in the president. We're MAGA. They're not MAGA. We're real MAGA. Make America great again. A phrase that was used by Ronald Reagan. We are Reaganites. We are Trumpites. We are constitutional conservatives. We believe in Americanism. That's the only ism that matters to us. That's who we are. It's too bad that I'm one of the few standing up to them. One of the few, but there will be more. There will be many more. Many more by the time this is over. I'll be right back.
Mark Lopin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Pay rent with Built to earn flexible transferable points and unlock exclusive benefits. There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. No matter where you live or who your landlord is, your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining, complimentary post-workout shakes, free mats or towels at your favorite fitness studios, and unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/WWO. That's JOINBILT.com/WWO. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/WWO to sign up for Built today.
Welcome back, summer, or as we here at Good Humor like to call it, free hand season. Think about it. Playing catch, watering the lawn, waving to your neighbor from the porch, all designed to keep one hand free for the ultimate summer activity. Enjoying a Good Humor frozen treat, whether you go for the crumb coating of strawberry shortcake or a creamy yet refreshing creamsicle bar. We'll high five to that.
Good Humor, the original ice cream truck brand, available at a grocery store near you.
Creating your own business is everything. Getting it registered and compliant, not so much. LegalZoom has everything you need to launch, run, and protect your business, all in one place. LegalZoom has already helped launch, run, and protect millions of businesses. LegalZoom, now you're in business. Get everything you need from setup to success at LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom provides access to independent attorneys and self-service tools. LegalZoom is not a law firm and does not provide legal advice, except for authorized through its subsidiary law firm, LZ Legal Services, LLC.
Honey, can you lock the door?
You got it.
There's a big difference between pretty good protection.
All of the locks, please.
System armed.
And superior protection. Castrol GTX Full Synthetic is engineered for superior protection in 7 critical areas. Castrol GTX Full Synthetic. Better oil for superior protection.
Intruder detected. Initiating flamethrowers.
I don't know if you've heard, but IXL is perfect for busy kids like me. It helps me practice everything we do in school. My mom calls it healthy screen time. I call it fun. Although, I guess I'm learning too. While other kids are rotting their brains out, I'm getting ahead in reading and catching up on math. IXL actually makes math fun. IXL works for busy kids and busy families like yours. Start learning today at IXL.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, Be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto-paying e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for what you do.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
You give me hope.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the border. Because laws either matter or they don't. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
My father would have been 100 years old today. Because he passed away, will be 7 years in October. I think about my parents often. I think about them every day. And I wonder what they think about what's going on in the country. I would hope they think that I'm doing the right thing, trying to defend this country, take on its enemies, foreign and domestic. He used to call me after every single radio program, Mr. Producer. So basically, I had to do another 20 minutes of radio. But they were always supportive of their son. Always. Always. When people throw the term warmonger around, my family's been to war in some of the worst places, in some of the battles on the face of the earth. I don't need lectures from prep school graduates, barely graduates, and trust fund babies.
Ricochet rabbit.
I don't need lectures from comedians with low IQs and who don't try and improve their knowledge of history and events. I don't need lectures from any of them, and neither do you. You have more experiences than them. You have more real life travails and challenges than them. Many of you grew up the hard way. My parents grew up the hard way, very poor. They worked for everything they got. They didn't inherit anything from anybody, Swanson Foods or what have you. They lived the American dream. They worked their way out of poverty, became part of the middle class, lower middle class, but middle class nonetheless. They had a little store, first a camp and a nursery school, but later a store outside of Philadelphia in Jenkintown on Old York Road. And having a little store is a lot of work. Because you work all day and you don't know if people are actually going to come into your store and spend money. They didn't sell food, they didn't sell necessities. So when there was a recession, and there were recessions, the family would feel it directly. Directly. The more I think back on it, the more they concealed tough times. But I remember the meals with hot dogs and the rest, and we loved them. I remember when my mother would make what we called Russian dressing with mayonnaise and ketchup, because they didn't buy Thousand Island. I remember when we had Campbell's soup, noodle soup. And the more I think about it as I'm behind this microphone, I know why. Nothing was extravagant. Nothing. That's how I grew up. I grew up to love this country. My mother's father was a Marine. He lived through the Depression and then World War II. But he saw a lot of his buddies murdered, killed on Iwo Jima in Guam. He signed up. I would tell Tulsi Gabbard after we were attacked at Pearl Harbor. He and his brother-in-law went down to downtown Philadelphia together, and they signed up. And they were immediately moved into boot camp. They were both Marines. He was 34. That was the cutoff age, 34. My father immediately sought to join the Army at the age of 17. I don't need lectures about war from people whose family, well, let me put it to you this way. I don't need lectures. My grandfather came back because of his experiences in war. I've told this before. He lost his voice. He talked like this. He was a tough man, tough man. Big, strong hands. Same with his brother-in-law. These were tough guys. These were guys that would take a beat-up truck that they borrowed from a neighbor, which had old wooden rails on the side, and they would drive from Germantown in Philadelphia to the coal mines in western Pennsylvania. And they'd fill up that truck during the Depression. They drive all the way back to Philadelphia. These were not comfortable trucks. And they'd sell the coal door to door to make a buck. And back then, coal was used inside the house to heat the house, to heat the food, and all the rest. And so they went to war because America was attacked at Pearl Harbor. And they weren't alone. Millions of men, Jews, Italian, Germans, Irishmen, Poles, you name it. They went to war. Many of them didn't come back. Many of them were scarred for life. My grandfather, before he was a Marine, was also a boxer. My older brother, who's turned 70 years old, he was a boxer too. He was also a bouncer. He was also brilliant. He could tell you anything about American history, anything about American wars, anything. He, like my father, would study cars and planes and jets, and they knew everything about them. I miss my brother. One of the most decent human beings on the face of the earth. He's alive. But he has Alzheimer's. And I know what he would be saying to his younger brother, too. Keep fighting. America's worth it. When I see what other people have been up against, relatives, family members, strangers, you in the audience, what I do is nothing. The barbs from the little punks who sit behind their computers, they call their friends in the media and plant stories. It's nothing. It's a game for them. You're talking about a country like Iran that wants a nuclear weapon to destroy the state of Israel, the Holy Land for Jews and Christians. That's not a joke. You're talking about a country like Iran that is building hypersonic missiles, or I should say intercontinental ballistic missiles, at a rate that's unbelievable to hit our country. Past generations have stepped up. Our generation needs to step up. I'll be right back. You know, Americans love using their credit cards, one of the most secure and hassle-free ways to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com, guardyourcard.com, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Do you have over $10,000 in credit card debt? If you're feeling the financial impact with unprecedented economic challenges, DebtBlue is here for you. With DebtBlue's Success Guarantee, you pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved.
I'm just living sky high right now. So I'm very thankful for it. And the team at DebtBlue are phenomenal. They're able to work with you. They're great.
Call for your free debt resolution information now. 800-200-6895. 800-200-6895.
Get a competitive edge in the workforce. Earn your degree from Jefferson Community College, where a variety of online offerings, in-person and hybrid formats, along with 8 and 15-week classes, allow for the most flexible schedules. Apply today and choose the path to unlocking your potential. Choose Jefferson. Fall semester begins August 25th. Visit sunyjefferson.edu to apply. Jefferson Community College. Your future starts here.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada? Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/Westwood1 and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
Are you an annoying coworker? Sending emails when everyone else is sleeping? Do they ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have knowledgeable sleep experts that can help you find a better bed, like a Tempur-Pedic. It has technology to keep you cool at night, meaning anyone, even people like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Got cardboard boxes piling up from online shopping? Flatten them and toss them into your recycling bin. Junk mail, glass bottles, and aluminum cans? Those too, as long as they're clean. But your grease-stained pizza boxes and styrofoam containers? Nope. Into the trash they go. Recycle right to keep the North Country beautiful. Learn what you can and can't recycle in St. Lawrence, Lewis, and Jefferson County at northcountryrecycles.org. That's northcountryrecycles.org.
Honey, you lock the door.
You got it.
There's a big difference between pretty good protection.
All of the locks, please.
System armed.
And superior protection. Castrol GTX Full Synthetic is engineered for superior protection, 7 critical areas. Castrol GTX Full Synthetic, better oil for superior protection.
Intruder detected. Initiating flamethrowers.
Welcome to Paradise. With the Platinum Card, unlock over $1,500 back in value annually on select purchases across travel, entertainment, and dining. Now let's make our trip next level. Hottest restaurant, Porto Trezzi. Unforgettable experiences, event access, endless vibes. Late hotel checkout? Yes, please. Platinum Card membership for a trip that's nothing less than iconic. Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-platinum. Terms apply.
Samaritan Health in Watertown, New York offers generous pay and sign-on bonuses for long-term care licensed practical nurses. Join us as an LPN and make a difference in the lives of nursing home residents. Learn more by calling 315-783-8079. Pay rates are available online. Samaritan is an affirmative action equal opportunity employer. Women, minority, disabled, and veterans are encouraged to apply.
Making sense of your world.
I can't believe this.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
And I am so with you.
Making sense of the news. Chris Plant, weekdays 9 to noon on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
An unapologetic patriot and unapologetic constitutionalist. You can reach him at 877-381-3811.
You know, folks, I know you work very hard. You save, you plan for the future. You follow the law, you pay your taxes, you raise your family. You see what's going on in this country and it turns your stomach. I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, if you want to help preserve what you've built, now's the time to take a serious look at your assets. And I mean this in all seriousness. Look at your assets. And this is why I talk about diversification with physical gold. Gold doesn't depend on Wall Street, doesn't care what the Fed does. It's a proven store of value that can add strength, stability, and security to your retirement portfolio. A lot of people will say, but it's a record high. And tomorrow maybe another record high. And next year another record high. That's the nature of the beast with any investment.
Oh, I'm laughing like a fucker.
Out there, rising debt, rising costs, and so forth. You need something real, something you can hold, something tangible. And that's why I recommend the best of the gold companies, Advantage Gold. I've dealt with most of them. Now, they make it easy to learn how to move part of your IRA or 401k into real gold and silver, backed by experience, integrity, and top-rated service. These guys are good. I want you to give them a call and check them out. I wouldn't keep waiting. It's just my personal advice. I call them out, and they're there. 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000. Protect what you've earned with something you can hold in your hand and trust in your heart, not rely on the government and the Fed and Congress and the rest. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional, but check them out. 800-900-8000. All right. Let's go to Robert, Washington, D.C. One of the great program managers, Bill Hess at WMAL. Go right ahead, please.
Hey, Mark Levin, the great one. Good to talk to you again. Hey, so this is from earlier in the in the show.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the district and the population here. So I follow a lot of bills on trackus.gov, and so that's actually being addressed through one of the provisions of the big beautiful bill. But there's actually something that nobody's talking about that is seen as a provision, a possible provision in the big beautiful bill, and it is placing full blame and responsibility for the USS Liberty incident on the state of Israel by codifying statements made by the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the time and the Secretary of State at the time. And I was wondering if you and your staff have encountered those in your research and why nobody's really talking about that.
First of all, I don't have staff. I have Mr. Producer who handles all things production, audio, makes this program get on the air and function. And we have Mr. Call Screener. We have a wonderful gentleman that handles affiliate relations. So what is it exactly again that you want me to do?
I was interested in your thoughts on that. They're codifying, in this big, beautiful bill, they're codifying statements. They're affirming statements from the 60s. And I don't know why that would be in the bill. Why is that captured in the bill? What does that have to do?
Codifying statements from the 60s. I'm still not following this. Maybe it's me. What do you mean? What statement?
USS Liberty incident.
Ah, there you go. They smoked you out. All right, thanks for your call. There you go. Dancing around. Yeah, the Israelis wanted to kill American sailors. That's what the anti-Semites said. They wanted to kill American sailors. That's what they did. Ask them over at the American Conservative, which is anything but. That's what they bring up. And what was a total accident. But I'm not here to respond to all the nut jobs. I just can't. I don't have time for it. I really don't. We'll leave that to the great podcasters. Let's go to Mike, LA. LA, XM Satellite. Mike, go right ahead, please.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Mark, I gotta say, you gotta keep up the good fight. I know you worked for me under Reagan. Reagan was my commander in chief, and things are definitely changing. In fact, I can kind of prove that the riots and stuff that they're having out there now, they have almost nothing to do with immigration. It's that leftist agenda.
They're trying to overthrow the country. That's what they're trying to do.
They're going to overthrow the country, and here's how they're doing it. They've laid it out. And if anybody wants to do the research, I already have. And others before me have. And I would highly recommend it, because the stuff that I'm going to recommend is free. You can get it on YouTube. Okay? Check out the movie that Ronald Reagan narrated called The Truth About Communism. About an hour, 50-something minutes long, and has a lot of information. You can see what's going on in our society right now.
Yes.
And then Agenda by former Congressman Curtis Powers. Agenda, the subtitle.
Don't know Curtis Powers.
And he outlined in Agenda 47 different things that the communists said they needed to do to take over America.
Mike, we have our own in-house gentleman, and I say that tongue-in-cheek, Jimmy, who calls from Brooklyn. He's like the Rain Man on all this communism stuff. He calls in from time to time. He's called into my program over 20 years. Excuse me. And he's fantastic, too. But you're right. In the book American Marxism that I wrote kind of spells it all out, too. That's exactly what's taking place. You can hear what these illegal aliens are saying. You can see what's going on in our college campuses. And the biggest problem is the next generation of Americans, many of them anyway, are not going to be patriots. They're not going to believe in America first. In fact, a lot of the so-called American firsters believe in Iran first. We've got Marxists, we've got Islamists, we have illegal aliens who come into this country. Many do come here, for freedom, but a lot of them come here for a free ride or to overthrow the country. How do we know? Well, we watch and we listen. That's how we know. A lot of countries take advantage of this country, send their terrorists and their prisoners and their worst people into this country. China sends their spies into this country. And then we have on the radical extreme right, and by that I don't mean conservative or constitutionalism, we have the 1930s crowd, the same ideology, the isolationists, the Lindbergher types. We've got the Rand Pauls, we've got the Charles Kochheads, that whole crowd. They talk about, you're old. Everything they're spewing is old.
I don't know. I'm not paying attention to what's going on in hockey. Well, Florida was ahead 2 games to 1. I don't know.
That takes the plants, the garbage that they're given, and just spews it and burps it up. All they're interested in is controversy.
Hey, Justine, Destiny's West is up on JC's panel if you dare.
These articles say the same thing, and now the articles quote the articles. It's the most asinine thing, and I'm going to keep responding to it and pointing it out because they expose themselves for what they are. And we have a massive audience, and I want people to know. Thank you for your call, my friend. By the way, we've had some people say, you only have 4.8 million followers on X. You want to know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because I don't live on X. I don't live on social media.
I do.
How many radio listeners do they have? None. I do radio and television. That's what I do. I'm not a social media platform guy. I'm not. If I wanted 20 million
that
people
fucker uses that battery
to
fast.
follow me on Twitter, then I would make sure I have 20 million people to follow me on Twitter. But that's where this scum lives. That's not where I live. I live here on nearly 500 radio stations. I live here on Sirius Satellite. I live here on YouTube. I live here on streaming. That's where I live. That's where my home is. That's where you're listening to me. I don't live on Twitter, on Facebook. I don't even show up, or any of these other platforms. I participate, but you rarely ever hear me promote them. Rarely ever. The people who attack what we believe in are attacking you. Just like the left. They use the same Marxist tactics. They're attacking you, this audience, your beliefs, your love of country, your service to country. That's what they're doing. I'm just exposing them. And I'm going to continue to expose them. I'm going to expose them every week, every month.
I don't know what's blinking,
year,
whatever.
Trump calls it the enemy within. Let's go to Dave. Racine, Wisconsin on the Mark Levin app. Dave, how are you?
Most satisfactory, Mark. The question I have is, with the increase of illegal aliens thanks to Biden, and the effect that could have on the census in 2030, could the 3/5 compromise be jiggled around to maybe count these illegal aliens, reduce the effect of them on the congressional elections, or the number of congressional seats that can be available?
Well, here's the thing. We can change it by statute and all, but then we have the courts. So the leftists on the courts, installed there by the leftists in Congress and a leftist presidency, they will rule that under the Constitution they're to be included. So the matter will eventually get to the Supreme Court. We'll have to hope that there's 5 justices who see it the other way, our way. I can assure you, the framers of your Constitution never had in mind, number one, illegal immigration. Number two, that illegal immigration should be counted like citizens for the purpose of the census. It would never have entered their mind any more than birthright citizenship did, which it didn't. So this is all post-Constitution, what I call a post-constitutional America. That's what it is. Thank you for your call, my friend. A friend just sent me from Ryland Gibbons. I don't know Ryland Gibbons, but God bless him or her. Watch. Trump was asked why military personnel were leaving the Middle East, and he replied as follows, quote, "You'll have to see. They're moving away. It could be a dangerous place. We'll have to see what happens. Iran must not have nuclear weapons. We will not allow it." And so I would say it's about time that the isolationists take their heads out of their own asses. Pay attention to what the commander-in-chief is saying. He calls the shots himself. He's not influenced by influencers. He asks you your opinion, give him your opinion. But you're trying to change what he is thinking about. You're trying to change how he is serving as commander-in-chief. Not me. I'm not trying to change anybody. But they are. The problem is they hate us, you and me, patriots, when they should be hating Iran. The problem is they dump on America, like Tulsi Gabbard did when she went to Hiroshima and put out that blasphemous video, when some of us had family members who fought in that war, and she's another special pleader for Iran. There's a whole cabal of these people. They're embedded, they're outside the government, wherever they are. Wherever they are. The commander-in-chief will do the right thing. As he's done the right thing in LA, as he's done the right thing with trying to cut government spending, as he's done the right thing trying to cut your taxes and secure the border. We voted for him. We elected him. He said what he was going to do with this madman in Iran and their nuclear obsession. He keeps his promises. And should it come to war, it won't be a full-scale war, but should it come to military action, he will have tried everything to avoid it. Because he has tried everything to avoid it. And he has said he has tried everything to avoid it. But sometimes there are evil entities, like the ones that brought down our towers on 9/11, like the ones that flew that jet into the Pentagon, like the ones that caused our heroes to die in central Pennsylvania, like the ones who murdered our people at 2 embassies. How you defend this and how you blame America or conservatives or me is unbelievable. Unbelievable. We'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers, and sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection and sending bank details. And you need LifeLock because your info isn't.
All right, I'm leaving.
It only takes one mistake.
We'll end this stream, and I'll see everybody on the flip side.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it.